Welcome to Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp.
And I'm Melissa Delp.
Today we're looking at Viticulture Essential Edition. Viticulture is a 1 to 6 player worker placement game designed by Jamie Stonemaier, Alan Stone, and Morten Monrad Peterson. It's published by Stonemaier Games.
You play as winemakers who are trying to have the best winery in Italy. To do that, you're going to have to plant vines, harvest grapes, turn them into wine, and then fill merchant orders to get points. Whoever has the most points at the end of the game is the winner.
The game comes with a main game board, player boards, 4 different types of cards, cardboard coins and glass tokens, and lots of wooden tokens. Some of the new things for the Essential Edition are the field cards, Mama and Papa cards, and Automa cards.
I've had a chance to play the original version of Viticulture and then the Essential Edition, and I definitely appreciate the upgrades and additions that are in this version. A lot of them were actually in the original Tuscany expansion, like the Mamas and Papas cards that give players different starting resources. We like to use the variant where you draw 2 of each and then choose the combination you want.
A lot of the information you need to play the game is actually on the board. To the right, you'll find the different phases of the game. It really walks you through all the steps.
You start with choosing a wake-up time. This will set the turn order for the whole year, summer through winter. You can guarantee that you go first, but you won't get a benefit.
Now you move into summer, the first worker placement phase. You can take any of the yellow spaces that are still available for your player count. In this season, you'll be gaining money, building important structures, and most importantly, planting vines in your fields. But if you use all your workers in summer, you won't have any for winter. You don't get them back until the end of the year.
In the fall, you draw a visitor card, either for summer or winter. And then you begin the winter worker placement phase. You can train a new worker, harvest some fields, make wine, and fulfill wine orders. Fulfilling orders is one of the main ways to score points.
After winter, there's some end-of-the-year things that happen, and then you start all over again by choosing turn order in spring. The final round is triggered when someone reaches 20 points.
Since you're following a winemaking process, a lot of the steps you need to take are sequential. First, you have to plant vines, and then you can harvest the grapes, moving them to your crush pads. After that, you can turn them into wine. And if you have large cellars, you can make even more types of wine, like blush and sparkling.
The logical process makes it easy for players to remember what they're trying to do and what they're trying to do next. You plant, harvest, age the wine, fill the orders, so all those action spaces get filled up. So I'm glad that the Essential Edition adds the Grande workers. Now, you only have one of them, so you have to be careful and use them wisely.
Right, because with only one, you still might not be able to do everything you want to do during that season. So especially late in the game, it can be really important to take those early turn orders to at least guarantee that you're going to get one of those important spots. The visitor cards are another thing that can help with that because some of them actually give you basically a free action, so you can take some of those important actions without having to put your worker on those spaces.
And it can be sneaky because other players may not be expecting you to do all of that stuff in one round.
Right, there was one game where the player in the lead was about 7 or 8 points ahead of everyone, so he thought it was safe to trigger the end of the game. Well, that winter, I was actually able to fill 2 orders, one with using my worker on the spot, and then the other through a card that I had. So I got 9 points and seemingly came out of nowhere to win.
Now, all the visitor cards are good, but some might be better for you during the game and where you're at in the game state. So it might be good for you to draw more cards during the game. Maybe build a cottage so you can get more cards during the fall and keep you from being frustrated when all the other players are getting the good cards. Viticulture already has some great components, but Top Shelf Gamer sent us some upgraded components to help enhance the gameplay. So if you enjoy sleeving your cards, you'll be happy to know that there is a card sleeve bundle at Top Shelf Gamer that you can get for Viticulture and the expansions. Stonemaier Games also produce some metal coins that you can use to enhance your game. These are the cardboard coins with the game that come originally in the base game, 1, 2, and 5. These are the same size, but awesome in how they feel in the metal. They look good, they feel good in the hand, they clink well. So great coins that you can use for viticulture. Stonemaier Games also produce these cast resin hand-painted wine bottles, so when you make wine, we switch them out for these awesome wine bottles that look great on the player board. And instead of these player markers, you have these awesome wine bottles. The tops will match the player colors. And one of my personal favorites is this awesome start player marker, and we have a quarter here for size reference. So at TopShelfGamer.com, you can get the sleeve bundle, you can get the coins as its own bundle, or a deluxe bundle that has the wine cellar tokens, the score markers, and the start player marker, or you can get each of these individually at the site.
I really like worker placement games, especially when there are interesting decisions or even hard choices you have to make because you can't do everything. And I think viticulture does fit into that category. I mean, it starts with the wake-up time. Are you trying to go earlier in the turn order, or is there a certain benefit that you really need? And then it carries out throughout the game, even with your strategies. Are you going heavy on the winemaking process, or are you going to try to get points other ways, like building the windmill and the tasting room?
Yeah, I may have built both of those rooms early in one game, and those points really helped make lots of points throughout the game for me.
Yeah, I often see viticulture recommended as a game for people who are looking for something to introduce new people to a worker placement or even their own first worker placement. And I think that is a good recommendation because the game, with its accessible theme and the board that really walks you through the steps, it's easy to learn and it's easy to teach.
But just because it's accessible to new players doesn't make it too easy or boring. I'm actually looking forward to picking up the Tuscany expansion and trying out some new options and strategies.
And there's another new expansion that's just coming out, A Visit from Rhine Valley, and it adds 80 new visitor cards. They focus more on the winemaking business than just getting victory points, and that expansion should be available early June.
Yeah, I think early June. So if you enjoy worker placement games or games that have like a process, like Puerto Rico, then visit your local game store to pick up a copy of Viticulture.
To do that, you're going to have to plant your vines, harvest your fields, make wine, harvest your grapes.
Don't forget to harvest them! Subscribe over here!
Ta-da!